Did you pick me up midday? Hi Power Tribe, it's Lola. I hope you're doing really good today. I'm doing good. And I am not digging this filter. It is distorting my face, and that's just not cool. I don't like filters that alter the way my structure and stuff is. Put a gold or pink filter on, fine, but don't change the way I look, you know? Like, I'm just not cool with that. What I am cool with is living in the now. I haven't been so cool with that lately, but that's part of life. Living in the now, continuously choosing your mindset, choosing your perception. It's all a practice. The discipline to live life in alignment, that's a practice. Not telling people off when you're irritated is a practice. Working out is a practice. Eating foods that nourish your body is a practice. All the things that we get to do, that we choose to do in life, they're a practice. And as we navigate through life, it ebbs and flows. And we are presented with opportunities to strengthen our practices. And one thing I have noticed repeatedly over and over is that when things show up in a way that give you the opportunity to see how strong your practices are and how strong your commitment is to living an aligned life, to see how strong your discipline is to choose to live in alignment, is also the perfect opportunity for us to almost naturally assess what practices are aligned right now, what practices are aligned for me to strengthen, to release, to kind of change. Is there a new practice of sort that I get to learn that is aligned for me to kind of integrate into who I am? What I mean by that last statement is, I would say probably about 80% of the things that I practice in my life when it comes to mindset, health, fitness, spirituality, conversation, communication, just who I am, are all different things that I got to and chose to learn. From a mentor, from a book, from walking in the forest and getting some download from spirit, from conversation and communication with someone else, from observing how somebody chooses their discipline of their practice. These are all things, all of my disciplines that are aligned for me are or contain a part of a practice that I chose to embark on, chose to say, okay, this is foreign to me, I don't know this practice, I have no idea what this is, but this is calling me, so I'm going to intentionally choose to make it a daily practice. So it becomes a part of my life, who I am, how I think, how I feel. And from that point, I am able to even, from a deeper place, say this is the aligned discipline, this is the aligned skill, this is the aligned way for me to eat, to work out, to communicate, to think, to see the world, etc. It's kind of like your disciplined practices come from your toolkit. And every time you learn something, a skill, a mindset practice, an energetic practice, a spiritual idea, you get the idea. All the things that you learn through life can go into that toolkit. And the more that you choose to absorb, the more that you choose to practice intentionally, the more that you learn from others. Just because you learn doesn't mean you have to practice. Side note. The stronger your toolkit is, the more abundant it is, the more you have in your toolkit to extract and use. And one thing that is so fascinating to me is various practices that I learned 10 years ago when I started my journey of self-love. I was quite adamant and intentional about practicing and using those things within the first year or two, and then they just kind of naturally tapered off, and I learned more skills and such that were in my toolkit to use, and that without conscious thought, something can occur in my life, and that tool that I haven't used in like 8 to 10 years will come to me. I'm like, oh, well, here. You know, for myself or for someone else. And I'm like, wow, I have not had the opportunity or the need to use that particular discipline or tool. I'm so grateful that it's there in my toolkit, that it's in me because I chose to practice it daily for an extended period of time. So that way it became a part of my subconscious, it became a part of my DNA. It is a part of who I am, and it's there whenever I need it. Currently in my life, I have picked up a tool that I have not used in a really long time, and it's having conversations with God. Not prayer, conversations. And I want to note that for a long time, it's been very challenging for me to use the word God. Back even further, it was challenging for me to even hear the word God used. And then it clicked a few weeks ago. I was sitting in silence and I heard, Lola, you decide what the word God means to you. You decide what anything means to you. Because everything is meaningless until you attach meaning to it. Okay. I was like, yeah. Okay, so what? That led me to asking myself, what does the word God mean to me? And for myself, when I say the word God, that is the universe, my higher power, angels, guides, fairies, energies of love and above through all time, space, dimensions, and realities, and also my ancestors. So when I use the word God, energetically, that is limitless. I am using the word God incorporates all energies of love limitlessly, which is also within myself. So with me using the word God, it also means my higher self, my best version of myself. There's so many different terminologies, so many words, so many things that I have learned and practiced over the years that are going under that label of God. So I started having conversations with God. And it's been miraculous. The speed at which my depression has lifted, my body is responding, the speed at to which life is beautiful and miraculous again. It's astonishing. And I say that and I'm like, of course, it's happening so quickly. Time is irrelevant. And when you are aligned, things just happen so quickly. And when you're not aligned, it's like you can be in this dense fog. Sometimes it almost feels like a semi-opaque cement that you are trying to move through, trying to see through, trying to speak through, and no one can hear you from the density of the cement. And we all know what that's like, when it just feels like you're trudging through life, that nothing is going your way, that everything is a struggle. And it's when that situation goes on long enough, you start to doubt things. You start to wonder, what is the purpose of this? Why am I here? The longer you are in misalignment, the worse your life gets. And I know you're a positive person, and you put that smile on, and you turn that voice and that charm on, and you think you're fooling yourself. I mean, you think you're fooling other people, and that's not the point. The point is, you think you're fooling yourself, that you are aligned because you're doing the practices, you're being positive, you're smiling, your voice, everything is happy, so it seems. But you feel like you're in this crappy fog, and you wonder if there's ever going to be a way out. There is a way out, and it's alignment. Alignment with your purpose, alignment with your soul's calling, alignment with your beliefs, alignment with you seeing your truth and owning your truth, alignment with you living your life at your maximum volume as you. Alignment is having conversations with God. You can input whatever word works for you there. Conversations with your higher self. Conversations with your tea mug. Conversations with your dog. Conversations with the sky. Conversations with a creek. Conversations of you sharing your truth of how you feel and being open to receiving the guidance, open to receiving the loving direction. And a loving, kind direction doesn't always feel good. Sometimes you get that loving, kind direction and it feels like a freaking slap in the face, and you're like, oh, I wanted it to be easier than that. Guess what? You can choose for it to be easy. the aligned actions, sometimes they're uncomfortable. Sometimes they involve work. Sometimes they involve hustle. Sometimes they involve relaxation and totally receiving. And the aligned actions, you get the whole spectrum, honey. You get to decide if it's easy. You get to decide your perception of your aligned action. If your aligned action is to get your health to a certain level, and for you to do that is to start moving your body intentionally every day and to start eating in certain ways and maybe saying no to certain foods that you really enjoy but you know they're not good for your body. And that time period of saying no to certain things and saying yes to certain things, that space right there can be uncomfortable, but you get to choose how you perceive that. You can choose to approach every moment, every choice, even if it's not exactly the one you want, but it's aligned. You can say, okay, you know, I really enjoy eating this food, and I'm really kind of bummed out that the aligned thing for me to do is to say no to that food and to eat more of salad, and I really don't like salad. Okay, I get it. I love and accept myself even though I don't want to eat this fucking salad, but I know it's good for me and I know it's the aligned thing. And I'm going to choose to enjoy this salad to the best of my ability. And I am open to receiving all of the goodness that the salad contains. You can choose your perception, which in turn chooses how you feel about things, to a degree. My doggy's over here. You can't see her. You can see my tissues though. So, to wrap it up, God means what you want it to mean. You choose the level of discipline for your aligned actions. You choose how much you want to show up for your aligned actions. You choose how you perceive things, which in turn shapes how you feel and creates your reality. So I leave you with these questions. Journal on them if you want. I highly suggest it. What in my life right now is not in alignment? What is the next aligned thing for me to do? How do I choose to perceive that aligned action? You got this, gorgeous. Take some time, journal out those questions. Don't filter your answers. Let them come. I'll see you later, lovely. Bye.